Hi, it's Mick Burgess here, and I'm backstage at the in Trillions in Newcastle, and I'm joined today by Alexander and Jane from Imperial. Hello, how are you?
Hello, we are. It is. I know it is hard to describe our feelings because we've been waiting for so long for these shows to happen, and when it finally starts happening. I don't know. It's like in a dream.
Yeah, I mean, what, 3 years and 5 cancellations?
Oh yes.
Many problems with visas and things, but you're finally here to play for us in the UK. I mean, can you talk us through the issues that you had with the visas and all sorts? I mean, what sort of problems are you coming across?
It is mostly just waiting. There is no problem with getting the visa, with getting the decision, but you just have to wait for so long that the dates that were set before, they passed. So we were made to apply for new visas, and it's just take a very long time. So that's the only problem. Was that the British Embassy that was causing the hold-up? Is that at the Russian end?
Actually, no. The thing is that the first 2 years were COVID, so that had nothing to do with visas. The visas came, but we couldn't come.
Yeah, that's right.
And when the war started, then the problems with visas started. Unlike many EU countries, which actually just stopped issuing visas to Russian citizens, the UK never stopped. It just started taking a huge while and completely unpredictably. So the issue over the past year was just with the waiting. And with that, it says that you're going to receive the visa normally in 3 weeks, but it's been 3 months and nothing has arrived.
Yeah.
So that was the issue here. But actually, the UK issues visas to everybody who's eligible for it, although now it just takes a long while. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got a very loyal fan base who've patiently waited for you.
Absolutely impossible. That is so fucking great because we only had like 3 or 5 refunds.
Yeah.
People some of the people have been waiting for 3 years.
Yeah,
the sales started in October 2019. Yeah. It was a different world back then.
Yeah, in many ways, and obviously being a Russian band and the conflict that's going on in Ukraine has made things very, very difficult for you. I mean, how have you coped with these issues in terms of your family life and in terms of the band? Is it been challenging for you as well?
Well, the family life, that's for you, I guess, because my family's here.
Yeah, my family is still in Moscow, in Russia. I haven't seen them since March, since we left. But we're talking via Telegram. We're exchanging messages, and everything there is okay. So they are okay, they are safe, everything's fine. So basically no problems except for not seeing each other. But I hope that, I don't know, in what time, in a few months, years, it will be possible to visit them there, because I have no intention to return permanently to Russia, but still it would be nice to be able to come visit family.
Absolutely. Because you've moved to Turkey.
Yes.
Has everybody moved to Turkey then?
No, only us two.
Yeah. So
should we tell? I think we should.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to be the first reporter to hear this, and these guys don't know this yet, but their eyeballs are going to pop out. Today at the gas station, while driving here, it took a long while to charge a full tank of diesel. So I opened my phone for the first time since yesterday, and we received a message from Arts Council in England that me and her, have been endorsed as exceptional talents for the global talent visa to the UK. That means we're eligible to live in the UK.
All right.
In 3 years we can get an indefinite leave to remain, and in 4 years we can get a British passport. That's the shortest route to British citizenship that ever existed. Tier 1. That's like the most luxury visa you can get.
Yeah, so we have our Turkish residence permit until the end of March. and then we probably move
So
here.
Imperial Age will become a British band within 3 months.
Oh, that's fantastic. So where are you going to base yourself? Did you
We
decide
don't know yet. We need to think. We need to come and explore. Actually, we can apply for an extension right now. We can actually stay after this tour if we want to. But we need to get the cat.
Yeah, we have a cat in Turkey.
But basically, the UK government has given us the green light
Oh, that's fantastic news.
to become British. Yes.
Excellent. So, I mean, have you come across any negativity while you've been touring Europe because of what's been happening?
No.
Or was everybody really welcome?
Only positivity.
I remember at the very beginning of the war, in Facebook, there were like a few people writing then, everybody, come on, you have, you should refuse to deal with Russians at all. You should stop listening to Russian bands and blah, blah, blah. But these people, they got like 100 million answers like, shut up, what I say, blah, 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 blah. So we personally, I don't think that we've encountered any negativity. No.
The thing about music, it's got a way of bringing people together from all sorts of different countries and cultures as well. Now I think it's a music is a magical thing like that. So
yeah, and most people, they understand that being Russian doesn't mean that you support Putin.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, talking of music, last night up in Glasgow was the first night of your UK tour. How did that go?
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was a bit chaotic because that's the usual situation with the first show on tour. But
And we hadn't slept for 24 hours before that.
yeah.
And we drove all the way from Ghent, Belgium, to Glasgow, via Calais, Dover, and everything. But it was the border guards were the nicest I've ever met. Seriously,
I saw the picture on Facebook. Yeah,
I was astonished.
But I think that was a French guy.
On the picture, that's the French guy, but before them was a British guy
Who worked in Moscow in British Embassy.
And was kicked out by Putin. Yeah. So he knew, but it was like the fastest border crossing ever into the UK.
But tonight it's Newcastle. The last time we saw you here was
5 years.
opening for Therion in 2018, wasn't it?
In Riverside, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, good to be back headlining your own show.
Perfecto, yes.
So what sort of show do you have lined up for us tonight? Is it going to be a good mix of
2 hours.
2 hours, right?
Yes.
We play 2 hours in this tour.
And music from right across your catalogue?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's 17 songs. 2 of them together are 14 minutes long.
Yeah.
Yeah, 17.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Max and Paul recently left the band. So what happened there?
They have jobs in Moscow, so they decided that, well, basically the choice was either they stay in the band or they quit their jobs. They decided to stay with their jobs, so okay.
That's fair enough. And you'll be joined by Ryan Thompson from Scotland.
From Five Scotland.
Yeah, for this tour. Is that just for the tour, or is he going to be a full-time member?
Let's see.
Yeah. So this is a good audition for him then.
I cannot predict anything at the moment.
So where did you first come across Ryan then?
He applied for the guitarist position back in August when actually Paul and Max left.
So why did you think
He's standing right there. You can ask him.
Thought that wasn't a Russian accent. So why did you think that Ryan? I mean, you can say what you like. Why did you think Ryan was right for the band?
Because
he played
a good audition.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that sometimes.
Yeah. So your latest album, New World, came out a few months ago. I mean, are you pleased with the reaction it's received?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Been a good one?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the album was created with the help of crowdfunding again. Your loyal fans helped to fund it. Did the level of support that you received, did that surprise you?
Absolutely. We got $75,000. That's more than the advances which labels give to bands which are much bigger than us.
Yeah.
And those advances have to be recouped, and we don't have to recoup anything.
So you retain the ownership of your music.
Yeah.
It's all yours.
Yeah.
You're not beholden to a label.
A year before that, a big label called what they're called, Frontiers Records, the Italian label. They offered us 11,000 euros advance, and they wanted the rights for 12 years or 24 years. I don't remember.
No. I think 12 or 20.
years. And then our fans come along and give us 6 times more. Without much strings attached. That's a completely different story.
It's incredible. So when did you start work on the album, and how long did it take you to do the recording?
I can't remember when we started the work, but the recording took place in autumn of 2021. 21?
Yeah.
Yes, 21. So just a few months before we left the country, but we can't predict this. So it was like, I think, a few months. Then we played online show, online concert, our second online show. Yeah, and then the war began and we left. And I remember we also did some recordings already in Turkey. Yeah.
So what was your plan for the record when you first started? Did you have a good idea of the direction you wanted and what your ambition was for the record? Or does it just sort of evolve over time?
We wanted to make the new album more upbeat, more like dancey, catchy. But you can't control it when you write music. So it's just impossible.
So how do you tend to work together when you're writing? Do you chip in ideas, or do you come up with demos, or how does the songwriting process work for you?
It is mostly Alex who writes music, and my job is just tell him that this is shit, delete it, let's go again.
Having an honest critic is very important.
Yeah.
Especially the one who's eligible to tell you to fuck off, shut up,
Did the events of the last 3 years, whether the what's happening in Europe or the COVID, is any of that coming out in your music, or do you sort of step away from real world sort of topics?
That's the point. Yesterday we were doing a similar interview in Glasgow, and the reporter told me, your album is like about the real events. It so reflects what happens. And I say, but there is just one little caveat there. It was written from 6 to 12 months before those events actually happened. Yeah. And that was a bit scary, actually, I can tell you that. But for example, the song The Wheel, which is about the war, it was written in November 2021 when there was no war.
Yeah.
Or, for example, Distant Shores, which is about traveling somewhere without any hope of returning, and actually sailing there, which literally happened here. That was written. I wrote the text in December 2021 on the way to the studio, but still, nobody planned moving anywhere back then. So, the intention was, but it was supposed to be at some point somewhere, not right now in here. So,
Having a bit of Nostradamus foresight there.
I know. So it's definitely about real world events, but it's not a reflection. It's not reflecting on the past ones. It's rather, I don't know. It just came into my head, and I was thinking, why the hell do you have like corpses and rotten faces in your mind? 2 months later, the war starts. I go, okay.
So how do you feel that the band's progressed over the 10 years since your first album? How do you see it? Do you feel it's bigger in scope, more ambitious?
I think we're progressing musically or as a commercial structure.
Both.
Well, musically, I think the progress has been great. Commercially, I think the band could have been bigger, although over the past year, our energy was completely diverted from that part. But actually seeing how it's going here, it's actually not bad. Let's see how it goes further.
Call of the Towers is an absolute 18-minute epic on the album. Is that you packing everything into a song that makes Imperial Age such a compelling band?
If you want to know what Imperial Age is about and you have only 18 minutes, listen to that.
Again, back to the songwriting. Did you start with the intention to write a song as sprawling as that, or did you just keep adding little bits on and little sections in?
No. It started when I went to Croatia in October 2020. And I actually crossed the border legally on a jeep through a forest, passing by the military patrols from Russia to Belarus, but it was closed back then. It was quite an adventure. Then I flew to Serbia and went to Croatia because I had a very urgent thing there. I was actually buying medicine for a cat. Yeah, but the type of medicine which is only available in the EU.
Yes.
So, and the scenery there when I was driving through these mountains and the forests, it inspired me to this. And then I spent and then I wrote the rest of the song over the next year and a half, almost, over the next year. And it just grew bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And at some point I realized, okay, that's not your regular song. That's going to be like a big,
the centerpiece of the album.
Big chunk without any regular structure and so forth. So I decided, okay, let's make it as big as possible.
You're going to make it tough to top that on the next record, aren't you?
Well, there is no goal to do that,
Yeah. Just see how it goes, eh? I mean, just to round off.
Otherwise, in 5 records, we'll have to be one song, one album.
Yeah. So your tour finishes in London in a few days' time on the 28th. Where do you head next? Are you back over to Europe or?
Concerning the two of us, we're still thinking we can stay in the UK. Or we can go back to Turkey, pick up the cat and go back to the UK. Or we can go live out the 2 months in Turkey, which have been already paid for. We pay the rent and then move to the UK. But either way, we move here.
It sounds like it'll be a little bit warmer being in Turkey for 2 months, then coming over here.
Yeah, but we've had enough of warmth, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So what about the rest of the year? What are your plans for the rest of the year once you get over here?
Well, once we finally move everything here and can settle properly, because we couldn't settle for an entire year.
And unfortunately immigration takes a lot of time and a lot
money.
Of energy and all. You just can't think about the other things, and all your time is dedicated to papers, to organize everything, new place, new house, everything new. So we definitely will lose some months just getting used to a new place. And then, new album.
And a European tour in September, October. And now we can tour the UK as much as we want.
Absolutely. No visas, no problems, no hassle. You can just do it when you want.
That's what our promoter, John, told us. Just get some residents here and I'll organize you any amount of concerts.
Absolutely. That would be great. So, That wraps everything up. Just I hope you have a great gig tonight and enjoy the rest of the tour. And best luck with your future. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.